So the first question, Maggie, is this. I'm getting older. I'm going to suspect that you're getting older too. And I like to kind of gauge people where they are. I do this test every morning to gauge my pain level, physically and mentally. So what's your pain level today from a scale of 1 to 10?
10 being intense pain?
Yes,
Yeah.
10 being into 1. It's a 1. Great. How often does that happen for you?
I would say most days. I have, some arthritis that's joining me in my journey, and so I'm learning how to navigate and mitigate, become partners with my arthritis. I have all the typical kinds of aches and pains that you get when you're on the verge of 58. But I also feel like I'm always kind of like comparing myself to the alternative.
Okay.
I might feel like I'm having a bad day until I see someone really having a bad day.
Yeah.
And then I kind of get to remember, like, I'm a miracle on earth. I get the opportunity to have a journey, good or bad, and I have to make the most of it. So most mornings I wake up a 1, a 2, yeah.
And is that because you maintain yourself, or is that because mentally you have trained yourself to be there?
A little both. I do take good care of myself. I play tennis. I build new friendships with people of all ages. I love my work. I do work that I think has meaning. I try to give back to the community. But yeah, it's definitely a lens I've installed over the last 15 years or so. My kids have grown up and moved out of the house. And so you're kind of, once you out of that harness of like soccer and school and homework and vacation and, all the things you have to do as a parent, suddenly you're like, my hands are empty. What do I do with my hands? And I realize my job is to make myself as interesting to myself as possible. And so when you are doing things that make you deeply interested in yourself, learning or whatever turns you on, if you spend time making your life interesting, then you get to look through a lens of, wow, what's possible.
Do you feel like you've always been able to be an individual?
Oh yes, I was raised in a family that believed in giving ourselves permission, doing what's possible. What's good for you may not be good for me. Make your own rules. My grandpa had a saying, rules are for the fools who need them. And that's a lot of what I talk about. And it's a lot of how I live is, what rules do I want to make for my own life?
Do you feel like that it's been an easy journey being an individual? Have people been understanding of your individualism?
Oh, yeah. No. Well, I don't always know what people think because I'm deeply uninterested in what other people think of me.
Yeah.
And so by kind of realizing it's not my business what other people think of me, and when you kind of allow yourself to be more interested in yourself than what other people think of you, it gets quieter. That voice gets quieter and quieter. And so, yeah, when I was younger, I was definitely seen as a little bit of a rebel. I was known for, calling out people for being jerks. And my friends counted on me for that. They would be like, did you hear what they just said, Maggie? So I've always felt a sense of being, it was my job to be myself. But as I age, I find that the beauty of aging is kind of the softening. And, maybe someone is a jerk, in my opinion, but they're on their journey. And maybe I can just let them be a jerk. Certainly protect people around me, but, sometimes I just go, I don't know, somebody loves them.
When did you fall in love with Maggie?
It has been a very long love affair. When I was young, I was still very much consumed with, am I enough? Am I, in shape enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I smart enough? And am I, constantly measuring myself against other people. But age has this incredible way of just narrowing the focus into, what do you care about? What do you want to put your time and energy into? And, make choices that reflect that, as opposed to, I wish, just make the right choices. And so I've just kind of fallen more and more in love with myself.
As we all do. I can relate to that. So you mentioned about the time frame, being a mom, soccer, and all that other stuff. Do you think that there was a point that you identified with being a mom? And I say that because there are women that identify, like that is their identity. They identify with being a mom. And I know you're a business owner and you do a multitude of things, but do you feel like you ever, like I said, this is my identity. I am mom, and then I'm all these other things second. Or were you a holistic person all of that time?
That's a really interesting question. I think that early parenthood has a way of redefining you and kind of owning you. You know, it's very hard to be anything other than a parent in those first years. It's so all-consuming. You're learning. You're trying to figure out how to operate this baby. How do I do this? But I always have tried to hold a little thread of myself. You know, like I owned a horse before we had kids, and then I owned it after we had kids. We moved to a place where I could have the horse with me. So I've always tried to kind of hold on to myself and remember I am something more than a mom. It is easy to be all-consuming because it is the most interesting thing to do in life. It is the most magnificent thing you can do in life, is to have children and to raise them. So it is hard to not completely identify. But I also had a unique experience because my kids taught me that I am more than their mom, because they resisted being defined by that. You know, that particularly Jack rejected the idea that he was an extension of me, that he was independent. And so he sort of forced me to be independent because he was not going to follow the formula of what the path I had in mind and what I wanted for him. He was going to do his own thing, which forced me to reckon with, like, okay, he's not just an extension of me, and I have to figure that out and be okay with that.
I have one of those. I think they're about the same age. How did you handle that?
Probably not very well, not very gracefully. He had to, luckily, he is extremely strong, smart, and independent. And he taught me gently, but he also was very clear. He had a lot of clarity about it. And I'll give you an example. When he was preteen, like, you know, he wanted to be a rapper from age 11. So it was his plan. It was plan A from age 11 on. So when he is, 12 or 13 years old, he sees himself as, I'm a rapper. And we would be someplace, like, I would take him to an opening of a movie. Like, there was a movie made about Louisville's rap history. We went to the opening together. People would talk to him and say, who are you? And he would answer, but I would jump in and answer. And I was trying to, he's nervous, I'll speak for him. And he had to literally be like, well, stop speaking for me. And I was like, oh. So when people would talk to him, I learned to just, like, he can handle it, he can do it. And so it was lessons like that he was gentle, but very firm.
But it sounds like you implemented the lessons that you learned from your own childhood with the people around you about being an individual, right? It's probably easier to allow your child to be an individual when you've been allowed to be an individual.
Yeah, my family's very unusual in that way. My grandfather, rules are for fools, grandfather, raised 8 children, and they all were very different. I had an aunt who became a nun and then decided not to be a nun because she fell in love with a priest and they got married. So it's like our family is, the DNA of our family is, do you.
Right.
Do you, boo. You don't need to please me. You don't need to do what I'm doing. It wasn't a free-for-all for sure, but, people got educated and had families, we're typical in that way, but there is a profound level of acceptance of, oh, you're not feeling good, you don't want to come to Easter, nobody cares, that's fine, go stay.
I love that you used that reference. I was a freshman in high school when I decided I was not going to do Easter anymore. It was a relatively big deal.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That is a big deal.
It was a big deal because my great-grandfather had been the pastor of the church and all these other things. And but my family really leaned in. My grandmother bought me this beautiful dress that I loved. And I'm not going to church today. And it was like, okay. Yeah. And then it was like, okay, well, it's not going to church today. Then, and that's the test, I guess, if you will, of being the individual. So I can appreciate what you were saying there. So I'm going to
and that's a profound gift for a family to give.
Yeah, it is. It's the biggest gift
to say you get to make your choices. It's pretty extraordinary.
It can also be a hindrance, though. It can be a hindrance. You can go out into the world thinking that people are going to accept you as this individual.
You can get delusional.
Yes.
And then you realize, oh, not so good.
So while you're doing you, what are you doing now, Maggie?
Well, I still own my sign company. I own a Signorama franchise in downtown Louisville, and I still love that work. But I'm very blessed with a management team that allows me to leave the building a lot, and I get to be more like an executive coach to them than an operator, which is a tremendous gift. They are really good people. My whole team is a lot of really good people. So a couple of years ago, I said to myself, well, you're going to have time off, but you're not going to sit around. So what would you do, Maggie, if you could do anything in the world? And I said, I would be on stages speaking and teaching and helping people live more freely, giving themselves permission. And so I've been working on building a professional speaking business, and I've written a book, and I'm, trying to create events, and I'm a little bit following in your footsteps. Like, how do I create a culture, a vibe, a mission? So that's kind of what I'm building now.
I'm excited for that.
Thank you.
I've heard you speak a couple of times. You do move the crowd.
Thank you.
Yes. So what is it that you want us to know? When you're on tour and you're speaking, what is the primary focus, purpose that you want us to know?
It really is about just what we've been talking about, this idea of being able to give yourself permission.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people hold back from giving themselves freedom because of the shoulds and the coulds and the cans and the can'ts. And I have discovered that internal conversation works beautifully, that questioning what you believe, right? Well, I can't go to this party in these casual clothes. Is that true? Is that true? And so I think this gift has given me greater happiness and greater freedom, and made me enjoy other people more. That when I can be truly who I am, show up the places I truly want to show up, hang out with the people I really want to hang out with, have the conversations I really want to have, I appreciate other people even more.
What's your dream room look like? You could curate a room. What does it look like?
It doesn't look too far from this room. This room is pretty close. My dream room would be super comfortable. Yeah, soft furniture.
Mm-hmm.
It would have no screen in it.
Okay.
It would be for rich conversation, for a beautiful bar setup, a refrigerator stocked with drinks and food, a place for people to take their shoes off and just get super comfortable. And then I love having deep, profound, vulnerable conversations with total strangers.
Really?
Yes.
Do you curate the strangers?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you curate the strangers by inviting them into that space, and they don't want to come in if they don't want to be vulnerable.
Right.
So then you curate it.
So I saw that you have an event that's similar to that, right? Coming up?
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
Coming up that is called Power Under Pressure.
Yeah.
And it is an equine themed event. We're going to use horses and a healthcare professional, mental health care professional, therapist, to talk about the science of our brains and how in a moment of stress we lose our center. Mm-hmm. Right? You're confronted by something. You're in a moment of panic. You have a difficult conversation. You're in a meeting and you've made a mistake, your technology fails, or, all these moments where we're like, oh. And there's a science to it, and there's a science of learning how to stay in your center, stay in your body, stay in yourself. And I find that I've learned that skill, and it's a profound skill to have, that in a moment of stress that you can stay present in your body and hold your power. So it's only 12 attendees, so I'm looking for that exact room of intimacy, vulnerability, great food and drink, and a small group.
And deep conversation.
Deep, vulnerable conversation.
So usually, in my opinion, humbly, in my opinion, that people who want deep conversations are usually pretty good readers. Is that you?
Pretty good reader, like readers.
Yeah, readers, like.
Yes. Now, when I read, I sometimes fall asleep. So I read, I audiobook more often than reading. But yes, I'm always reading.
But you're taking in the information, though. Yeah,
I read. I'm always reading 2 or 3 books at a time, because I kind of go back and forth between books, business books, fiction books. I kind of go around to different content, and then podcasts. I love thought leadership and different ways that people see the world. And, I think of it like, when you go to the eye doctor and they're like, A or B? A?
Gives me anxiety.
But to me, that's like reading and understanding other people's point of view. It's like I go, A or B? Do I like that take or do I not like that take? So I love that kind of experience.
So what is the all-time favorite book that moved your soul?
Probably the one that has changed me permanently forever would be a book called Loving What Is by Byron Katie. And she is, I would call her a spiritual leader. She may not say that she's a spiritual leader, but I would call her a spiritual leader, a mastermind of accepting the world as it is and learning how to, despite tragedy, despite horrors, despite humanity, doing humanity, that you can be happy. And you can find joy, and you can still fight for what you want. You can still make change. You can still fight against, fight the power. You can still do all the things you want to do, but you can also still have joy. And so that changed my life. That book.
How long ago was it that book changed your life?
2019.
2019. So fairly recently. Yeah.
Fairly recently.
So what have you been doing differently since 2019?
I ask myself the question, is it true? Hundreds of times a day, right? So I'm looking in the mirror, I'm putting on, my sunscreen, and I notice a new wrinkle or a new age spot, or, I didn't even know I had a pimple. And I'm like, I look terrible. And then I say, is it true? And I'm able to separate myself from my thoughts, be present in the moment, and know that I'm having a thought, and that doesn't make it true. Sometimes we rely on our brains so much that when our brains generate something, we think, I'm a genius, it generated a thought. But our brains generate slop like AI. It just generates, you're too fat, you said something stupid, you really should be more productive, your yard needs work, you're lazy. Your brain is just full of all the slop.
Right.
And it's not going to stop. You can't stop your brain from slop. So learning to go, oh, that looks terrible. Or this is terrible, or I hate our government, or we shouldn't be in this war, whatever, we should be feeding the hungry. And you just learn to value your thoughts differently and know, is it true? So if I say to myself, our government should be doing more to help poor people. Okay, it's a very popular thought. It's very popular with me. And then I turn that to, I should be helping poor people. Why am I talking about what everyone else should be doing?
Right.
What am I doing? Let me do it. And so it helps clarify my activity, what I'm working on, what am I thinking about, and then get rid of the slop. And so when I say, oh my God, look at that pimple, I look terrible. And I just go, oh, you don't, you look great, you're fine. It's a pimple.
I love that you use the word slop, because there's that term AI slop, right? And so this is real time, me thinking. If I put Maggie Harlow against Claude or ChatGPT, who's winning on what topic?
Who's winning on what topic? Well, the great thing about AI, the thing I love about AI is the incredible variety of thoughts that it generates, just like my brain.
Mm-hmm.
It generates content, it generates images, and then it's up to me. It's up to me to say, no, yes, I love that. And I think that's important for us as humans to realize AI is there, it's here. I hate it. I wish it didn't exist. I think it's in many forms evil. But it's up to us to use our human brains, to use discernment and focus on the value we can find and learning to throw the rest of the slop out.
That's fair. What were you listening to on the way here?
I was listening to my son's album, Monica.
Okay. Do we get to talk about Monica?
We can talk about Monica.
I love Monica. I didn't even hear it. I heard it before I heard the rhetoric, because I'm a Friday person. Whatever new music drops, and then I was like, oh, it was like
Friday.
Yeah. So, tell me your favorite song on Monica.
Lonesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a fan of music, not necessarily for the lyrics. I'm a little more, just the music moves me. And there's something about the way that little kind of like, the way the song kind of trots along, it kind of TikToks along. I really love that.
So I'm going to tell you what I thought about when I heard the album. Okay.
Tell me anything.
I thought about a conversation you and I had when we had lunch. And I said, what is it? I don't know. I was talking about raising a gifted child, right?
And of that conversation.
And I said, okay, I know because I have one. There's no telling what that brain is going to generate. And, I'm going to give you an example. I have one that is he's got an art history major, the blah, blah, blah. Then he comes a few weeks ago, it's like, well, I think I might want to go to grad school to do the sciences. I'm like, yes, that sounds about right.
It tracks.
Yeah, it does. It tracks. All of it tracks because he's capable of doing all of it. So I remember talking to you about having, children that are gifted and them being able to use those gifts for whatever that may be, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I hear this, I go, this is lovely.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you like it. That's quite a compliment.
Well, no, it's true, but my point leads into going back into raising gifted children, now adults. Are you pretty primed that, either one of your children may walk through the doors and say they're going to do something completely different than what they're doing right now?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, that's a critical parenting skill, in my opinion, that your children are separate from you. They're on their journey. And even if you feel like, they're headed off a cliff, I can say that. We have a relationship where I can say, wow, that sounds like you're going off a cliff.
Yeah.
But if that's your journey, I'm here for you to have it.
Yeah. Because you can fly.
Yeah, exactly.
Off a cliff.
I mean, I don't know what's right for them, especially as an adult. When your children become adults, how do you know? How do I know what's best for them? How would I know that? So yeah, I think a gifted child is, or even a quirky child, or an artistic child, or a creative child, there is a certain freedom, but also I believe in consequences. I'm a big believer in natural consequences, that yes, if you're going to go in that direction and jump off a cliff, I'm here to watch and support, and might be picking up some pieces if you need me to.
So I'm going to stay on this topic for just a second, and then I'm going to abandon it. But did you know that Monica was going to be what it was or is?
I got to hear Monica just days before it was.
Really? What was your first thoughts?
I think it's beautiful. And I was so happy for him that he could pursue what he wanted to make and what he loves, as opposed to, I better make a number one hit. I better please my typical fan. He really, he made a whole album before that album and then scrapped it and started again. And there's a bravery in him that I love. Was it going to be a flop? Was it going to be a hit? Was it going to be loved? Was it going to be hated? That was not relevant in his life. Certainly it was relevant to his management and to the label. But he has always prioritized his own desires, and he's earned the opportunity as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
If it's a complete flop, pay the price. That's okay with me.
That's amazing. So, not quite on that topic, but similarly, talking about Jack, and we'll get off of this. I frequent going down Broadway quite a bit, right? I'm going from top to bottom. I don't know which one is which, from west to east. I do it frequently. And I'm driving, and of course I see, Jack's face, on the building, right? But my question to you is, am I looking at Jack's face or am I looking at Maggie's face? Whose face am I looking at?
Hard to tell.
I'm asking you.
He definitely takes after his mother in many ways, but he also takes after his dad in many ways. So, yeah, it's funny because there are people who've known me for years. Still don't put it together.
Really?
Yeah, they're still... It's becoming less and less frequent, but for a long, long time, people I've known, people I spend time with, they'll be like, wait a minute. Oh my God, why didn't I see it? Then they see it. Then they're like, yeah, you are definitely Jackson.
So are you going to drop an album anytime soon?
I'm not. No albums for me. No albums for me. Maybe someday, though.
Maybe someday. You're going to keep it open?
Oh, never say no.
All right. So keeping with the theme of AI, and because I believe, you're a Gen Xer like I'm a Gen Xer, I believe The Matrix is a really good movie for our time frame that kind of really shows this AI time, in my opinion. So my question to you, and you don't even have to answer it. We've talked about this. You can answer whatever you want to answer. But what character are you in The Matrix?
Ooh. What character am I in The Matrix? Ooh, I'd love to be Trinity.
Yeah.
She was awesome.
Is it because she's the badass?
She is kind of a badass. I like her. Yeah, The Matrix is very much a real thing, in my opinion, because our brains are our matrix.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything's coming in our brain.
Yes.
What we see, hear, feel, think, touch, all our senses. This is the box that everything has to process through. This is the matrix. And so I had a protein shake this morning.
Okay.
But I can't prove it to you.
Yes.
So did it really happen? Only here. It only happened here. I can even show you the empty bottle of the protein shake, but I don't have any proofs that I don't. So it's a funny thing about The Matrix. In a way, I feel like The Matrix was about our brains. It was science fiction, but it was really, I think, about our brain.
I agree. But what you're describing, so do you have a lot of existential moments?
Oh, for sure.
How do you manage those?
You mean existential, like existential fear?
Yes, fear, or even like what you just described, that awareness that you cannot prove that you had that protein shake. You can't even prove that you have children right now.
I don't. They're not, how do I even prove I have children right now?
Right.
They might be on Mars right now. I don't even know where they are. Well, I don't court a lot of fear.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can't say I'll have existential moments related to fear, because I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever comes. I'm ready for human annihilation. I'm ready for all of it. And so I just stay present. Like if I'm in a moment of fear, if I'm in a moment of dread, if I'm in a moment of I don't know what's about to happen, or, the terrible thoughts about, does Iran have nuclear weapons and are we all going to die? I kind of just remind myself, I'm sitting on a couch, I'm standing on a floor, I'm in this moment right now, and I'm supported. And is that enough? Right for right now. Like right now.
Right now.
Present is really my escape.
Yes, very present, right at this particular moment.
Like literally, here I am with you.
So I know this about you, Maggie, that you are a big champion in the women business community. How did that come to be?
I became an advocate for women as a little girl. My family is a matriarchy, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always believed in the power of women. And when I opened my first business, I was 35 and I opened my sign company. And I discovered that there is a rich community of women in Louisville who are rooting for me and are rooting for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so that helped me tremendously in those first years of business, knowing, I remember moments of existential dread for my business and sitting with a friend who owned a business and had been in business 10 years, and her talking me off the ledge and helping me get back into my body and be present. And so I've never forgotten that. And so I just feel like it's my responsibility to lift women up and to make it easier for women anywhere I possibly can. How do I open a door? How do I make a difference for someone today?
I know that to be true for you. So I have to ask the next question, because women in business right now is not necessarily popular, or at least in 2026, right? What do you feel like the state of women business is right now?
Well, women business ownership is growing. I think we're now 40% of business owners in the United States. Obviously, maybe it's not obvious, but even though we might own 40% of the businesses, we still are a micro ownership in terms of revenues.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have to keep in mind that men have been doing business for thousands of years. They have thousands of years of a head start. They have been building their business, their acumen, their confidence, their knowledge base, and passing it on to their sons and their brothers, their nephews for millennia. And so we have to catch up. But this is the right time to catch up. Like, we're in modern times with AI and the internet, and so we actually we're gonna catch up, and we're gonna be at their pace. But it's just it's not gonna take 5,000 years, 4,000 years. But it's gonna take a minute.
We're kind of advanced. I think we'll be able to hurdle some of those years.
For sure. I
Yeah.
think we're moving at a much faster pace.
I think so too. Do you think that it's also true that maybe in those thousands of years that men have been operating, they've been operating also in concert with the women behind the scenes?
Oh, come on. We've made it all possible. We've made this possible for them. We have, at times when we couldn't have a bank account, we couldn't own property, we couldn't pass property down, couldn't even keep our names. We definitely were behind the scenes and helping. And I think that's what makes us perfectly poised to help each other in that same way as we grow businesses, to do that for each other. How do I get behind the scenes?
Exactly.
I've been behind the scenes for generations and generations. So let me get behind the scenes for you and lift you up.
Yeah, I was, it was over the COVID shutdown, and I was, binge watching everything that I could watch. And they did this Madam C.J. Walker series. And it was the first time that I looked at it from a completely different lens. I was like, this woman was doing incredible things at a time frame where she wasn't even supposed to be able to do anything. But it made me think about my own grandmother, who was an entrepreneur. And I realized for the first time, like literally, it was embarrassing. I realized for the first time that she couldn't even open her own checking account when she started her business. And it explained why my uncles were so involved. Like, they would come and, support her and make sure things, because they were the ones that were literally making it happen for her until she could legally make it happen for herself.
Think about the banks. We had to have a law to force banks to allow women on their own to have credit and get loans, like to require
Yes.
to do it. That was 1980 something.
Oh, it was that was my point. Like
A minute ago.
she opened her business in the 1950s, and I'm in in high school by the time she can actually, really legally do all the things that she needs to do. Really ridiculous. So I'm going to go back to a little bit of music because I know you're kind of a music person. So I understand what you were listening to on the way here, which we'll agree is beautiful. And then what's your playlist? What's your theme music?
I grew up, I'm a hip hop head, so I grew up listening to hip hop. My first album was Rapper's Delight and memorized every word of it.
Yeah. How were you introduced to it?
Well, it was kind of a hit. I mean, it came out in 77. So I was 11 years old, and my girlfriend across the street, she had teenage sisters.
Yeah.
They were playing it. So, it was like, and I was just like mind blown. I was like, what is this? And so I remember that label, that Sugar Hill label,
Unforgettable.
produced by a woman. And my friend Connie and I played that over and over and over again until we memorized every word. And so I've enjoyed lots of different kinds of music. I've loved popular music. I've loved rock music, alt music, folk music, country music. I like all kinds of music. But hip hop has always been like my home base. So I always kind of go back to Public Enemy and NWA and Tribe Called Quest, and like those are comfort food music for me.
Right. My friends and I call that college music, even though it's like the native tongues is what they really call it. But college music. Yeah, college music.
That's my comfort food.
All right. Well, I don't have any other questions for you.
Well, this has been really, really interesting. I love this. It feels like more like a conversation than an interview.
Yeah. So do you have any closing remarks? Anything that you would like to say?
What I love, Kimberly, about what you're creating is like it's your fingerprint. Like it's unmistakably you. And I think that we need more women doing that. We need more women, not saying, do I measure up, or, well, is this cool, or am I in the right outfit or wearing the right piece of jewelry? I think we just need women to be like, let's hear your uniqueness and let's highlight it and bring it out. And so I just love, I think not only are you creating space for that and creating it and being it, but you're inviting other women, leaders, and men to find what's my fingerprint, and let me just use it.
Thank you, Maggie. I wasn't expecting that, but thank you. I appreciate it. I really appreciate you taking time to come talk to us.
I'm honored. I've been kind of on a little bit of a buzz all week getting ready to be here. So
really, I'm honored. I am honored.
Me too.